So Animalia to an alphabet book is like what the Grand Canyon is to a pothole. It is an alphabet book, but it is so much more than that. It is the alphabet book. It is, in my regard at least, the best alphabet book that has ever been written. And I've been wanting to do this review for a while because it's a book that I really, really like. It's quite difficult to come by. It seems to be out of print, or sometimes in print, sometimes not in print. But if you can get your hands on a copy, it is amazing. And I'll go through why I think it is so cool. So Animalia hits the spot in a few different ways. First of all, it is an alphabet book that is beautifully illustrated. Every page is wonderfully filled with these awesome and slightly wacky, a little bit offbeat illustrations that are really fun to go through with your kid and just enjoy for the sake of the art itself. But in terms of its job as an alphabet book, this is where it gets really, really interesting. So when we read through Animalia, every page is presented as a type of rhyming alliteration. So for example, we've got the A page where it reads, an armored armadillo avoiding an angry alligator, or Kid Kookaburra and Kelly Kangaroo kidnapping Kitty Koala, or lazy lions lounging in the local library. And this style of presenting the different letters of the alphabet is great because, first of all, it's a bit of a tongue twister. So it's a lot of fun for our kids to try and say the phrases after us and try and practice being able to say these slightly complicated and tricky words. But more than just a tongue twister, it also helps our kids enunciate words better, practice longer syllable words, and get comfortable with sentences or sentence structures that are a little bit awkward to come out of your mouth. So it's a great way of just sort of practicing speech. So I really like that about it. In terms of the letters themselves, and this is where it really kind of ups its game as a alphabet book. If you look at the pages of each of the letters, you'll find that the page is, as I mentioned, chock full of great art. And what is really special about Animalia is that on every page, it's not just that there are a bunch of things that start with the letter P. It is that almost every item illustrated on the page starts with a P. Hundreds upon hundreds, in some cases, of items start with the letter P. And what makes that awesome is that there are all sorts of fun ways in which you can engage with content. On one level, it makes you really question your own intelligence as an adult and wonder, how is it possible that you know so few of the words that in theory you should know what they are? But on the other hand, it's a great opportunity to engage with alphabet in a totally unique way with your children. So one way in which you can do it is you can see how many items on the page you're able to name. That's probably the most obvious way. Another thing you can do is you can point at a specific object, hope that you know what the object is yourself, and then see if your child knows what object that is, starting with the letter P or whatever letter you happen to be on. And another way you can do it is your child can see how many things on the page they're able to count that they know starts with that letter. So there's various different ways in which you can engage with the content, and because there are so many items on every single page that start with each of the letters, it really is a game that can last ad infinitum. You can keep revisiting the book, you can keep revisiting the same page, you can keep re-engaging with the letters and trying to find more and more and more things on the page, and surely you will not exhaust the number of items you find on each page. And that's really why I love Animalia. And then another fun little thing about Animalia is the fact that the author Graeme Base seems to have inserted himself potentially into each page. So there is a little boy in the sort of style of Where's Wally that is present on every page of the book. He's wearing a yellow and orange striped jersey with blue pants, and if you look really carefully, you should be able to find the boy or a piece of the boy on every page of the book, which is also really fun because if our kids are a little bit mentally tired and the exercise of trying to figure out words or say words is exhausting, you can also revert back to a much simpler Where's Wally style of engagement. So multiple ways in which you can engage with the content of the book, tons and tons of rereads that Animalia is good for. and just in general, enjoying the way that he's put the book together, enjoying the content, and appreciating it just from a purely artistic point of view as well. So like I said, difficult to find it. It's not always available. You should be able to find a copy on Amazon here and there, certainly in the secondhand section, but absolutely worth having. It is one of the books that I actually keep in my own study, even though my daughter loves to get her greasy paws on it. It's a book that I think is really precious, and we break it out on special reading occasions. But it's a classic and a top 10 for me for sure. So Animalia by Graeme Base, the greatest alphabet book ever.